Ken Spencer, I would have multiple numbers in here, and of course we have multiple numbers in address book. So the idea is if you only have one number, it won't give you a choice. But if you say call Ken Spencer mobile, it would call my mobile number, etc. So that's why it's really good to keep your address book in check and in line. Voice dialing rocks, let me tell you. If you have a Bluetooth headset or a Bluetooth car kit, you just press the button and it turns on voice dialing. And on the phone, you just hold it until the voice dial button comes up. So I'll show you again. How many here have iPhones? Okay. So
work on the 3s too?
The 3GS, yes. I don't think the 3G. It might. So even though my screen's locked, even with my screen locked, I can still voice dial. So press and hold until voice dial comes up. It'll go ding ding, and you say what you want to say, and then it'll give you a reply.
And so all you do is press and hold?
Press and hold, yeah. Again, play Anya.
Playing songs by CKY.
Well, I got CKY wrong, but... Ooh. It's not mine. So, with the new iOS 5 with the cloud, I think you're going to be able to control your iPhone and even your Mac more with voice and stuff. The point here is, enter things right in your address book because it will manifest itself over time. The time you spend on it is time well earned because it's time savers later.
Can you get my contacts into my phone? I have to do
You
that with the
give
phone.
Ken a call.
I'm supposed to get a thing.
A connector or my iPad?
The thing for the iPad.
The connector?
Yes.
The dongle.
I don't know. He said go get the thing.
VGA or HDMI?
For iPad 2.
Yeah, but is it...
iPad 1. I mean.
Okay, so here's the one for VGA for the projector, or if he's got the HDMI projector. But is it Bob? He's got all those. But anyway.
No, this is so I can use my iPad 1.
Well, those will work, but you won't be able to see the screen. He knew that. If you're doing an app, it'll output. You want to use my iPad?
No, because I wanted to show stuff from my iPad 1.
Yeah. Is it an app I might have? Yeah, you'll just be able to output to the screen, but you're not going to be able to see the screen. You're going to be able to see the result of the screen, like videos and stuff.
I think this.
No problem. Sorry. Okay. There was a Bob.
Yeah, to get your contacts onto your iPhone.
Through iTunes. Besides Bob, and I'm not, Bob's very new to the iPhone, and he finally got it, and I know now he knows he can't live without it. Those of you that have iPhones, who is not syncing it with iTunes at the current time? Who is not doing that? Okay. So basically what you do is there's two ways to sync your iPhone to have all the and this may change on Monday again. We may get some other features, but basically to add to it, you use iTunes, and what iTunes does is with your iPhone connected here, your iTunes reaches into your address book and pulls the addresses out and brings it to your iPhone. In your case, you've probably entered some things on here, so what it'll do is it'll merge them. Before you do that, let me know. We'll do a screen share because I want to back up your address book and make sure we don't, for some reason, delete all that you have. So, and again, that's a great reason why to make sure you keep your address book.
Are you going to cover hard print options from this?
I'm just going to go into print here in a second. Thank you.
Thanks.
And then let's see. So now, let's go. This one's a pretty complete address, Test Spencer. So now I go up to File, Print. And on the print screen, now if you ever get a small print screen like this anywhere on any app, go to this little disclosure triangle. Apple likes to hide things. Apple's got the minimalist approach. Come on, there's a lot more hidden behind. So if you hit the plus, you now get the rest of the screen, okay? That's on Safari. That's on all of them. Always hit it so it's expanded, okay? Now, in here, you have different type, and it's limited, but it is pretty useful. Print and envelopes used to always be a pain in the butt, okay? It's gotten so much easier that I, in fact, do it. I mean, I used to just say, okay, I'll handwrite it or I'll run off a bunch of labels because it was so tough in most programs. The program I have that I loved was called TouchBase Pro, and it did a good job of it, but that's long ago. It's long since gone. It was a classic program. But I go in here in my address book, the last thing I chose was envelopes, but I have the chance to do mailing labels, and in those mailing labels, I can pick an Avery type of mailing label, okay? So you get your, even if it's, you buy it at Staples and it's Staples brand, it'll be a brand of mailing labels, okay? Let me do this. Let's hit cancel, and let's select all of mine, so we might get more. See, we get more people on a mailing label. I'll zoom in. Okay, so it'll do mailing labels for you. 2 up, 3 up, etc. Here's where postal code comes in, but it really is just, those of you that do a lot of mailing, you know that if you do it, if you sort it by zip code, you can get a discount on bulk mail. So this, instead of sorting it alphabetically, you have the option of sorting it by postal code. The other options in mailing label are, actually let's go back to labels. So here is the layout of the labels. You can make your own if you want, but traditionally if you use an Avery number, it will define it as 3 across, 1 inch high. In fact, I think that one's a 8163 maybe, no? So those are big labels. So if we go down here and we click on label, now what do we want on the label? We want, if they have a home and a work address, you could choose which one, or other, any of the listings on that, sort in alphabetical order. Then the other thing is we might want to print company. And if you remember MacNexus had Apple as the company, so now it shows the company. You could print country if you needed to. I didn't fill out country there. Oh, and then accept my country. No, I don't think too many of us are going to do international mailing. We do have the option of changing the color. I always use the crayon one. And we could go with, of course, the ever wonderful, probably doesn't read at the post office, green. Then you do have the chance of changing the font here, and believe it or not, you can add an image to it. Okay? You have to have the image on your desktop as a JPEG or a PNG or something, and then it can go in there. So go ahead.
I notice on the last label, you get both the single name and the couple name.
No, it's not there. Remember, I put them under company.
Right, but I'm saying
there's no way to delete the top one.
Okay.
So that's why the way of putting it as first, and I'm glad you brought it up. So again, the question is why does it show up that way? Because we did company. If you were going to do a card for them like that and you want to use this, you would not, because there's no way you can say. Well, actually, I take that back. The way let's do a fix on the fly here. Let's go back to layout. Or I'm sorry, label, and let's say what I'm doing here is I'm going to say home. Okay, so nothing. So if I go back to their name, let's hit cancel, and I go back to, that was Mary and Ken Spencer. So I'm going to say this is an other address. I'm going to make this address home. Okay. Think about this. All right, so now I'm going to say select all again, select all, print. We're doing this on the fly. All right, so now I'm going to go to, say, work. Oh, if I had two, no, it won't do it. Never mind. No, it won't. There's other programs called like Envelope and things like that you want if you get to that extent. But that's why you could even do it as, you could do a second card for them that call the so-and-so family and have them that way. But I just think for you may need in those cases to have 2 cards.
Do you have an image that you could put up there? I'd like to see how the image is added.
Sure. Let me see if I have any. So what I'll do is I'll say set, and it's going to search my computer. Actually, I'm going to hit .jpg and see if I could. There's an image. I don't know what it is. Bear with me. Hopefully shouldn't be bad, but you never know. So see, it just put it in front. You have no choice on where it goes.
And you can't edit it
No.
once it's there?
No. You have to edit the image beforehand. So I don't even know what this is. Some sort of... It's a bunch of people attending... it looks like Jonestown. Last time I was there. Yeah, I just had to be. It was an image. I found a JPG on my drive somewhere. So you don't have a ton of latitude with it, and it does in fact shorten the address over. So if you have long addresses, you have to be careful. All right.
It has to be on the desktop.
It has to be anywhere on your computer. I always move them to the desktop because it's easier to find. When you hit set, it allows you to navigate your whole computer. You can go onto your hard drive. You can go anywhere. So you navigate to find the file. In my case, I just did a .jpg because I know that that's an image file and file name, and of course it just started filling out. I just picked the first one. So, by the way, little tip. Anytime, anywhere on your Mac, if you have a document, a movie, a song, an image, if you click on it one time and hit the space bar, it gives you a preview. Huge, huge deal. I'm hitting the space bar. So now the other thing is I've got that on my space bar. Now if I want to go down my list, I just hit my down arrow. You can see the blue. I don't know why I have all this. That was where the roller hockey team was. These are just images I have on my drive. So, no. Put that one on your mailing label. See, I'm opening my drive up to everyone, and that's probably the worst image I'm going to find. Or best image I'm going to find. Anyway, go ahead.
I was looking through my photo album, and I saw all those kinds of songs like the Davis and Johnson that you just displayed. Why are they being captured?
I captured those.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Those might have been attached to a website I downloaded or a newsletter or something like that. JPEGs are images. For instance, there's even some, you'll get some with your programs to do like Word or to do art and different things like that. They're just in there.
It's okay just to delete them. It won't affect anything.
Oh, no problem. I mean, they're unless what happens though is sometimes like there's one in here that's called iChat icons. And it's icons that are used in iChat, like a smiley face or things like that. So JPEGs don't take up a lot of room. I wouldn't go crazy deleting them unless it's something that you feel uncomfortable with having there. Delete it. Things happen. Sometimes they get down. Sometimes on a website you'll accidentally click save instead of copy or things. Excuse me, like that. So I wouldn't worry about it. JPEG just means it's an image.
Can you custom copy just a phone list?
Yeah. I'm going to go into the different phones, kinda. So I'm going to the next one here. We have, let's see, mailing labels, then envelopes. And in envelopes, we kind of have the same thing. I have the option, I don't have a, hang on here. Let's do something. I'm going to change some. I'm going to change this quickly, and then we'll show you where. View card, make this my iCard, make this my card. Okay, so we're going to go back to print. I'm going to highlight these. So now, when I go into envelopes, I have the option of printing my address in the return address or not having it up there, okay? And it could print my other work or my, if I had them, other work or home, depending on what you want. Then in addresses, I can have all. So in other words, it'll pick one of them. So if you don't have work, let's say one guy has home, one guy has work. If you want to make sure they both get filled out, you just say all. But it would be different labels. It's obviously not going to throw 3 addresses on one envelope. It'll pick one default one. Print in alphabetical or postal code order, and again, we can print company or country, color, all the same things with the images. And let's just take another image. Let's find out where it goes. same one. Oh, does it to the left of the address book.